Hello, I just wanted to jump in at the beginning of this video because rewatching it, it is kind of like weirdly intimate in some ways, and I just wanted to kind of give some kind of context because this is by far my longest video. So for the past week, I have been kind of documenting my internal presence and whether or not I've been feeling controlled by ego or more aligned with the presence of God. Um, you'll see throughout that like there's a few different versions of myself that kind of appear, and through it I kind of find a new identity. I guess the person that you're seeing now that I don't really think existed as concretely, at least, as it does now. So if that's something that's of interest to you, I hope you enjoy. If you have no desire to see something that long about something you don't care about, I do not blame you. But regardless, if you have any feedback, I'd love to hear it. This is a weird experimental kind of video. So whether you like it or you hate it, I'd love to hear from you. Enjoy. Hello. I've been noticing this cycle repeatedly with myself. I mean, that is the nature of this, perhaps, that I will go in and out of alignment, back and forth, back and forth. And it feels like, in many ways, almost two different people. Like, their ways of being and their, like, motives and the way they see the world is so vastly different. And it's so difficult when you're in the moment. Like, when I'm out of alignment, it's hard for me to remember just how amazing and like great it feels when you are in alignment, because you just spent so much of your time in that other place where everything just feels normal, and you forget just like how much more than normal it can get. And once you're in that space, it can take a lot to get out of that. So I've decided that what I'm going to do is kind of keep record over the course of this coming week, the week that just happened when you're watching this, and keep a log of whether or not I'm in alignment or not. I think that it's a way that may keep it more on my mind, keep me more on pace, because, like, for example, I used to like really want to lucid dream, and the only way I really ever got to that point was I started just setting alarms on like my phone or like on my watch, like for every 10 minutes of like, check if you're in a dream, check if you're in a dream. And then you would do a dream check to see if you were dreaming or not. If you're awake, wouldn't happen. But after enough time of doing it again and again and again, like having those conscious checks of like what's going on, consciously checking in, it translates to your dream life. And then when you do check in your dream and it does work and does indicate that you're in a dream, then you become aware of it. I'm hoping this functions in the same way, that as I check in with myself throughout the week and what I learn and what I observe, this will, it may illuminate some things that I haven't seen before. In many ways, I do think I do notice that every time I fall out of alignment, it's because I choose something like selfishly, what you would maybe call like a sin, like something that I know, like I don't want, like I know it will take me out of this, like I know it'll cause me to know that I betrayed my sense of truth, and then it's like the light goes off, and then you just like fall to that temptation, I guess. This is nothing new, but when it's just you, it can be easy to make excuses because you're just talking to yourself. Like this may at least put a little bit more accountability, because you'll be with me the entire week. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for right now. I'm in alignment right now. I'm having a really good day. I'm gonna try to keep it low key and probably just like read most of the night. We'll see if that works. Yeah, I'll see you soon. Hello. So it's been a little less than a day since the video you just saw, and I am immediately regretting doing this. I think maybe keeping this constantly in my mind is having a adverse effect. Where like I want to just kind of exist and be in the moment when this is in the back of your head, knowing that like, hey, what are you feeling? Are you feeling it? Are you not feeling it? Just kind of like that. Where are you? It takes you out of that flow. We'll see, but as it stands right now, it is not been a great day. I just got back from work. A very irritable time. Everyone, energy's very negative out there today. It's a Sunday, so everyone's going to be busy going back and forth. Plus, there's a football game, so there's even more people out than normal. It's busy. Outside and inside, I think the busyness of the outside world is really getting to the busyness in here. And it keeps me really outside of the present. But we will see. I'm gonna go do some of my breath work. Maybe really try to slow myself down. See if I can de-stress a bit. And I'll update you later. Hello again. It has been about like a half hour-ish, 45 minutes-ish. And man, am I glad that I have breath work in my life. Am I glad that starting it was suggested to me on a whim from a YouTube suggestion. It's really, I can't express how much it's really saved me. You know how like you have a toddler that eventually they just have a meltdown and they're crying, screaming, doing what toddlers do, and you tell them they just need a nap, and they'll just kick and scream and no. That's very much how I often feel with that's how I was feeling before. I was very cranky. I just wanted to like stomp my feet around, you know. And I did not want to do the breath work. I don't think I probably would have if I wasn't recording it. So I guess in that regard, I am glad that I am doing this. And if nothing else, it's keeping me... Making this video is making me try a little more than I maybe would have. For whatever that's worth. But man, you get in there and it really is like a nap. You wake up, it washes all of the mental fluids out, puts you right back in your body. And it gets you where you want to be. Like, I'm not in a perfect place right now. I might go back and continue my breath work. What I'd use is just like a 30-minute video, so I might play that a few more times. I really do enjoy sitting in that. But we'll see. We'll see how the rest of the night goes. I know in the video that started this, the one that I recorded yesterday, I said I was going to try to read for the rest of the night. That didn't happen at all. I got sucked into my computer, and then it was just like, oh, let me watch one more video. Oh, let me watch one more video. None of it constructive. None of it like anything other than distraction content, that kind of stuff, which just keeps you wired, keeps you like focused out on stuff that isn't real. So we're going to see. When I say today, I'm going to try to stay away from the computer for the rest of the day. Maybe the rest of the week. We'll see how things go. But, yeah. I guess that's all for now. Maybe I'll see you again later tonight. Hello. In my video I made yesterday, I mentioned that it feels like when this happens, there's like two people wrestling for control. And it's weird because I feel like the side of me that's unaligned, like the side of me that has been, like what I've identified as for ever, like that person, like that makes its own choices based on its own pasts. Like, I don't really like that person anymore. Or I see all the like ways in which it's operating poorly, or like where certain habits or actions that person takes, they always lead to pain, and I kind of just would like to be done with them. Like, I don't want to have to like go one by one fixing every little thing, because I feel like if I do that, I'm eventually going to realize all of it is holding me back. Like, it doesn't, like, everything I think I've been taught before leads me to feel like I should be trying to integrate the two people into one. But it really feels like one of the people, the person that was always in charge, was wrong. And they should be, if possible, abandoned entirely. Like abandoned ship. Like, get them off of the controls and never let them on again. Like, that's what I want. And I guess I have a fear about that, because in many ways that feels like killing myself, because that is the self I've been for forever. That feels like that's destructive. Like, that feels like I should not abandon myself. Like, when you hear that said in that string of words, like, it sounds wrong. But when I feel what I feel inside, all I want is to have peace. That person never had peace. That person doesn't know how to. Its habits, its ways of being are not conducive to peace. They never have been. And every time you try to like figure a little weasel out, like figure out just like a special answer, or just like a specific solution that just works and lets you like merge the two worlds, that doesn't work. Continuously, that does not work. What does is the full surrender of the chair to that other character, that other person. I don't, am I not supposed to want? I don't know, I feel just very, caught up realizing that, like, what I want to do so much is to, in many ways, end my own life so far as I've come to know it. Oh, that is weird. Now I'm just quoting Severance. But, and it's kind of similar. So I just got kind of immediate affirmation of the video you just saw. That it is a righteous path to kill this, character. That it is, right to try to transition to a place where that person no longer comes around, because all that they really bring is pain and suffering. And we'll see. It's early in the week. That may change by tomorrow. But for right now, I think the focus is on staying where we are right now, not going anywhere into sin, to allow the power to be given back over to the character again, like to living in those old ways of being. The thing that I'm noticing that's kind of makes things a lot more difficult than I maybe would have thought is that I have a very high standard of what I think I need to be doing. And if I can't live to that, I'm going to fall out of this alignment. And maybe the case is my previous standards were just so low that now that they are up to this point, it seems like it's a harder ask, maybe a bigger ask than it is for others. But, like I said, I don't want this person anymore. Would I be willing to give everything? Because that's what it's what it literally costs. It literally costs everything. You need to give all attachment to that person and their attachments up. In the moment, I can say yes, but we'll see. I'd imagine I'm still gonna volley back and forth throughout this week, but we will, time will tell. In the meantime, I do think it is prudent to mark when those changes, or when those, when power is given over, and if we can acknowledge or, notice what the, trigger point is, point it out. So then the next time it happens, maybe be conscious of it, you know? So with last night, specifically, like I said, it was just, I got onto, I don't know what I was watching, but I was watching my old YouTube channels, subscriptions, just watching something distracting, and probably just got into a little, just suggested video to suggested video to suggested video, and that took me out of it. And when you're on that train, or at least when I'm on that train, I'll have a tendency to have as many screens open as I can then, because at some point while I was watching something, I then got bored, so I went on my phone as well. Because I remember for so long last night, I was scrolling on Instagram. I'm not an Instagram scroller. I don't use social media much at all. But Instagram, I rarely get sucked into that. If I'm going to get sucked into it, it's going to be a different app. But I was just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I don't know. There might not be anything to that. Maybe I'll come back to that at a different point. But it is interesting that now I start getting distracted and attached to things that I don't usually. Is it because I'm trying to make a conscious effort to make this change? I don't know. Good morning. It is Monday around 8 a.m. I'm feeling pretty great. We'll see how the day goes. I haven't gone out yet for work yet, but I went to bed with God in my heart, and I woke up with God in my heart. So maybe that's something I'm learning. Maybe I should have known that already. But, yeah, definitely something I gotta keep in mind going forward. Because I've been doing a lot of lucid dreaming lately. Just by chance. I'm not really even trying, but I will just wake up or become aware of it during my dream. And for the last 2 hours of my dream, I was just walking down the street alone with my thoughts. And I can have a tendency to just get bored in those situations. But when you have in mind that if your divine nature is in mind, it's not really something you can be bored by. And it's always something just keep on your mind. It was a very nice time to reflect. That doesn't really even cut into this time while I'm waking. So, yeah, we'll see how the day goes. I will see you soon. Peace. Hello. So, I just finished recording another video that will have already been posted. Will be posted that day, I guess is what I'm saying. And in it, I kind of talked about how, once again, I feel like now I'm the real Tom. And like the other me's that you've been seeing in the video up to this point isn't the real one. Like, that's the character. And in it, I talked about how, like, so long as I'm making these videos, like, I'm never the real awakened me. I'm always like the character to some degree. Like, I can take off like layers of clothes and things like that, and like wash some of the dirt off my face. But ultimately, like, the facade still remains, and to like hope to get around that, to escape from that. I don't know. Yeah, today, I think I might have been lying this morning when I was saying I was great. Like, I'm feeling a lot better today, like, truly. I think for the first time, but we'll see. Tomorrow I might be saying again, oh, I wasn't really feeling it then. Who knows? Maybe it's just getting deeper every day into this feeling. I mean, it's a good problem to have, I guess. Always improving. But, yeah, it really, I've just been kind of, like, irritable. And I think what it was, as I said in the video that I just recorded, is that there's a desire to follow this idea of what a good day is. And like, so long as you do that, you're kind of caught in this structure of like what is definable as fun. Like, you can't really experience new things if you think you know what constitutes like a good, fulfilling time. Like, you are shutting yourself off from new experiences. You're shutting yourself off, and you've experienced so little, you know? I don't even know if this is necessarily relevant to the video that I'm making. I don't know what this video really is. This is kind of more just like a week-long vlog at this point. I don't know. This does feel very like intimate. I don't know if it's because I'm in like a little alcove here. It does feel like almost like a confessional on a TV show. I feel very much like, more than in my other videos, I feel like it's weird to know that I'm going to be perceived multiple times, all like in rapid succession, because you've seen very different people over the last however long this video's been so far. I worry this is going to be like a 2-hour video, which I don't know how an episode of Survivor Man is an hour, and I'm already at like close to a half hour of content, and it's been like 2.5 days. Oh well, sorry. On to be in the next clip, I guess. Peace. Hello. Let me read to you what just came across me in what I've been reading. If you believe, without having committed a mortal sin, that you lack both devotion and serious intent, and that, not having devotion or serious intent, you do not have God, and if you then grieve over this, this itself becomes your devotion and serious intent. Therefore, you should not confine yourself to just one manner of devotion, since God is to be found in no particular way, neither this one nor that. That is why they do him wrong who take God just in one particular way. They take the way rather than God. Remember this then, intend God alone and seek him only. Then whatever kinds of devotional practice come to you, be content with those, for your intention should be directed at God alone and nothing else. Maybe I didn't phrase everything I've been feeling properly, but that is, for the second day in a row, a direct response that I'm being given to my own internal turmoil. I love when that happens. Man, it's very, very cool. This truly was like a direct reply to me. I thought it was definitely at least worth sharing in this video, because it's true. Hello. I may make a longer video going deeper into this that you will have already seen if I did. But if not, I wanted to get this down because I'm just noticing how there is just like, depending on the person who's in the chair, who's like in control back here, like the world is a completely different place. Like the last few days, it's been like, I'll work and I'm just working to wait till I get home and everything's like, then everything's fine. Like there's this confined space of like where things are right, where things are like mine, and where things are like under control. Right now, everything feels like it's mine. Like there's the saying that like once you've given up everything, everything becomes yours. I'm butchering that horribly, but like that sentiment is so true. Like I was just at a grocery store doing an order, and I was just like dancing in the aisles because it just feels like I don't care. Like usually there's always this like fear of judgment of other people, but right now when I'm in this space, when I know who I am and like the piece of, sorry, some guy just decided to walk right in the street. When I'm kind of in this space, there's truly nothing that can stop me. There's no judgment, there's no nothing, because all I'm doing is being myself. And when I'm being myself, I can't be wrong. I mean, you can be wrong, but I hope you get what I'm saying. I think I may make a longer video about this because I don't feel like I'm explaining it well, and how am I supposed to be explaining it well while I'm driving? Yeah. Sorry. Hello. It is late, or at least, it feels late for me. I'm very tired, and I was getting ready to start thinking about going to bed, and I realized I haven't really recorded anything, for in a long time for this today, so I thought I'd give some kind of like end of the day recap, if nothing else. It's been a very, connected day. I've, felt very much in the presence for a lot of it, and I think that's also the reason that I haven't recorded anything today, because there hasn't really been a need. As this week is progressing, I feel like it's becoming clear that one of the main reasons I even started making this video and this log of all of this is clearly because I wanted to have my mind staying on God, and this was like something to continuously come back to like always keep in your mind. But if you were in a space where like God is always on your mind, the need to have to talk about it and share that is lessened more and more, you know? So there hasn't really been the need as much today to share. And even now, I don't really have a whole lot to share. Like, there's not a whole lot. Like, there's no special things as I've really observed today. There's nothing really magical or like any like game changers today. Other than realizing that it does seem like my theory was true, that this is all just on me. So long as I keep my end of the deal, God keeps God's end of the deal. And it's up to me to blow it. So long as I don't do that, I get to stay in heaven, you know? So we'll see. Sorry, that was really close. I hope that wasn't too loud. But we'll see. On to the next day. Peace. Hello. I think a very unintentional success of this video, for me at least, has been that it has kind of forced me to focus on God more than I maybe ever would previously. Because I do think a lot of the time when I would fall out of that presence, it would be because like in many ways God was a hobby because God existed in like these videos only. Like this was like my way of sharing what I was learning. Like this cool thing that I found out. And now, through making this video, it's very quickly becoming everything. Like for the first time, it's really integrating that my life is at its fullest when the only thing I care about is God. That's the only thing on my mind. When that's the case, I feel fulfilled. And because I've been making these videos and like forcing that focus, like it's being made apparent. Like I accidentally forced myself to realize that so long as I just like stay only focused on God, I'm going to stay in joy, in the moment, in the peace. Like right now, currently, I can feel I'm wobbling back and forth between the two states. Like as I'm speaking, like I can feel that it's like. Of course, that's not what's really happening, but I can really I'm right on the edge of it currently. And I know that the reason that I'm losing this connection to God is because I'm forming a connection with something else. I'm caring about something that's not real. It's about recognizing what that is, because it's not always physical. It's not always in the world of the five senses. Sometimes you gotta look deep, But then once you do, you can fully accept that that's an attachment that you have. Because I think a lot of the time, for myself at least, I have a tendency to be like, no, that's just normal. I'm allowed to feel that way. Like making excuses. But you always know what the truth is, Okay. I wanted to just do one update today. I don't think I've recorded anything else. Maybe I have. I don't really remember. But in case I don't see you the rest of the day, have a good... Oh, this isn't the end of the video. Well, see you in the next video, I guess. Sorry. Hello, this is going to be a really short video because I just arrived at a grocery store and I'm about to go in. But it is remarkably striking just how much like the world like changes once you see eternity. And it keeps happening. Like it just happened with me, seemingly out of nowhere. Like I had woken up not really feeling right, and I've spent most of my morning trying to get back to that place, and I just flipped the switch back, and I do not know how it happened. Like I truly was just driving, some things happened, and then like power's back on. I don't know how to explain it. It's like that scene in like a superhero movie or superhero TV show where like the person has their powers, they get their powers. I'll try to keep this person out of it. They get their powers and they start like being able to do magnificent things, but they still can't control it. Like it's too dangerous. Like it's like they don't know how to control that yet. I'm kind of in that point right now, but that's great because stories tell us that this is just the beginning, and eventually I will be able to. Eventually, in the third act, when the time calls, I will have full control over this. If that makes sense. Maybe control isn't the best way to say it because it's not mine to have, but you get what I mean, I guess, right? Hopefully. All right, I gotta go shop. Peace. I've talked in a different video before about how in many ways making these videos is practice. Like the stuff I talk about on here, I end up like often talking about out in the real world. And this is kind of like a first run around. But even more than that, like this is where I'm really learning to be myself. Like I said in that video, this is a new person, I guess you could call it. This is not how I've acted previously. Like some things are definitely similar. Like there's essence of who Tom was, but this is not that same person. This is very much a new person that I've been meeting along with you as it just kind of works itself out in these ways. And I'm really I'm grateful that I made this video or for this week because I've been kind of forcing myself to be this person more than I kind of had been previously, because like this is some of the only places where this person like really gets to exist in this much of like a long form talking, trying to like explain things. This is the only place where that person really exists like that. And by forcing myself to like make these videos throughout the week, it's really like forced you into like figuring out who this person is. Like getting a lot more comfortable in this new identity. I'm just really I wanted to voice that in this because man, it's really something grateful, not something I would have really would have envisioned, or not something that was at all something that I was hoping to have happen as a result of this video. But that's why you try new things, 'cause sometimes you find out things you weren't expecting. Good morning. I think I might have just figured out those like invisible switches that I can't that I keep saying I'm not noticing, but I'm just noticing the after effects. I'm pretty sure it's just many judgments that I'm having, like small moments that I don't really wouldn't consider acts of unlove, but that's exactly what they are. I will have a moment where I judge someone, I think badly on someone. I'll give the specific example. I just was at a four-way stop, and there was this person that kind of sped to the stop, and I immediately was like, oh, what's this guy doing? Like, is he gonna try to like cut me off? Is he gonna try to because I was supposed to go first in the stop sign intersection thing, and I was like, oh, is this guy gonna just decide to go first? And in that instant, that's where I felt it. It was like I the lights just like flickered off for a moment. And then they, it was in that instant I noticed, oh, that's what's happened. That was a judgment. That was not love. In this moment, for the first time today, I did not choose love. And in that moment, immediately, power's off. I think that's what it is. Major development, if so. Okay, so something that's becoming clear throughout the process of making this video is that there has been a process of like a building of a person throughout this week. I mean, throughout the last few months, but specifically this week, because all of my attention has been on it. Whereas before it was kind of more of a hobby. God was like a thing that was it shared my time with other things. And for the first time this week, I have been very much focused on God and understanding exactly my role in all of this. And in the process, I've come to know myself for the first time. I think in many cases previously for my entire life, whenever I would they say be yourself, I don't think I ever really could do that because I never knew who that self was. There was always so much fear. There was never even an attempt. So even if I wanted to, I couldn't be myself because all I ever had was imitations of other people. as I've come to know God more and come to trust God, believe in truth, there's been like this deep relaxing into myself for the first time. I never was necessarily able to relax like this before. I was always operating out of fear, so there was never the possibility of allowing myself to fall in this relaxing faith in love. But as my faith in truth and my belief in God has strengthened, for the first time I allowed myself to fully surrender, or more fully than I ever have before. It seems that it always goes deeper. But more fully than I ever have, and what I'm finding is a person was created. Whatever this is, because this is not what's going on really. This is like the mask that thing is wearing. It was created through the love of God. This was brought to life. Like, for the first time, I'm not really trying. For the first time, I'm able to, when they say be yourself, I know who to be. I keep coming back to this. I think that's what I've learned the most over this week, is who that person is when they say be yourself. And it's like, now that I know this, like, there is no going back. This is just core knowledge of self that will always evolve and always change. But there's knowledge of where this thing is, what this thing is, for the first time. I continuously, like, at the beginning of this week, that was kind of the whole thing, wasn't it? That why do I keep switching back and forth between being in alignment with God and not, back and forth? And every time I would get knocked out, it would it would take me a while to find my way back, because I didn't exactly know who that was. I didn't know my own truth. Hello. I've been trying to make a few videos, just so I don't have the one video that I recorded earlier is the only thing today. I kind of wanted to have more. I guess I did do two, but I like to do one kind of longer one here that isn't just in a car, just kind of mind possibly elsewhere. I don't really have a whole lot to say, though. Like, I'm just continually grateful that, like, I've come to know this person for the first time over this week. It's like I finally, I put in work, so now I finally know who to return to. Like, before, if you said, like, be the best version of yourself, I didn't even know where to begin, what that even looks like. And throughout this week, I've kind of started a mold of who that person looks like. And of course, it's far from perfect, but it's a mold that can always be worked on. It's for the first time I have, I know the person that I am. I don't think I ever really was relaxed enough in this world. Like, I never felt enough safety before to relax into this true self living in the present. Like, I am very conscious of the fact that this is one of the biggest weeks of my life. Like, I'm within this right now, but I know for years to come, for possibly my entire life, likely my whole life, I will remember this week, because, like, this was the first week where I started to exist in this form. In the first time I've ever, like, really lived a life long term with full devotion to always doing the right thing, to living in truth, to listening to every instinct that calls from within me. Fully living in that, and for the first time. Ideally, this is what I'd like to do every week, forever. Because when I feel this way, like I feel fantastic. I've never had a week that's been like this consistently fulfilling. Like it feels like there is this just body high that seemingly doesn't go away so long as I have my mind focused on God. There were specific instances yesterday, like there was moments I would be judgmental or do something that would keep me out of alignment for a bit. And man, I was like exhausted. It was like truly like the light that was carrying all of the burdens of the world like disappeared, and I was like thrust back into my body, and like I was exhausted. Like I could have fallen asleep right there on the spot. And then when I came back, like when I finally found my way back, it truly was like a weight lifted off of me. Like in feelings that are beyond the five senses, it was like the weight was lifted off. And I don't know what that means, and I don't think I could ever truly express what I mean. Other than it just became easy. And I'm only left to believe that that's because I've got God with me, bearing the load with me, bearing the load for me, and all I have to do is surrender. It's like unlimited energy. I noticed that. Like I'm not really getting tired at all. And like I have to sleep, of course, and all of that, but it's like I could be like this forever. Time literally stops. Like I feel like there is no need to sleep. Like if it wasn't for just the nature of being alive in the world where people have jobs, I have to sleep on cycles like that. But man, I don't know how long I could go if I didn't need to. I mean, maybe the better point is like, I can always, like, so long as I need to, I'm going to always have the energy for whatever I need to be able to fulfill God's will. I just found that for the first time. We'll see. I don't want to be pessimistic and be like, but we never know. I'm trying to be more only affirming in my words. So I do believe that in many ways that's what this video is kind of documenting the first week truly living this next chapter of my life. I'll probably do a few more videos tomorrow to like fully make it a week, because I think I took my first video Saturday night. So I'll close the loop, but this does kind of feel like a natural close to the end point, so I'll kind of do my outro here in case it ends, and maybe I'll come back to it. But thank you so much for watching all of this. If you've made it this far, that's incredibly generous of your time. I don't know what kept you watching, but I'm glad there was a reason you kept watching. Like there was something I was able to give you that made you keep watching. I'm very happy I was able to offer that to you. I love you. Truly, I'm trying to like feel that. Like sometimes it feels like I'm just saying that at the end of videos, and I'm really trying to focus more on like the fact that I do love you, and I don't even know if I fully know what that means, but I when I say that, I truly do feel love. And yeah, thanks for watching. So on top of the outro that you just watched, I've already recorded 2 others that obviously I didn't use because I haven't really actually been in alignment until very recently today. And when I recorded those videos, I thought that I was, and was speaking from a place of authority that I did not have. And it's very clear to me now, so I thought, let's re-record with some additional perspective. That is one thing I've learned this week, is that there needs to be this examination. Like, I'm so grateful that I started this. I think at the beginning of the week I said that, like, looking at myself in this way repeatedly was, like, just too distracting. I think that was just me lying to myself, ego really, like, desperately trying to make excuses so it didn't have to be dealt with. Because the more I just get to focus on coming back to this place where I am now, the easier it is for me to come back every time I stray. That's something else I'm making a conscious decision to remember, is that this is not going to be perfect. I think if you'd asked me at the beginning of the week, my hope was, like, by now to be like, I'm finally in alignment with truth, and that's going to be me for forevermore. I figured it out, and it only took a week. Obviously, now I'm seeing that it's not the case. This is life. This is part of that cycle. For me to think that I was going to figure it out so quickly, or to expect that in future weeks, that's only going to cause myself disappointment, cause myself pain, which is only going to perpetuate that cycle further, you know? I feel like that's a lesson I'm supposed to learn a long time from now, but I'm trying to make a conscious effort to instill it in now. I may continue to say that in future videos because, yes, that's something I need to remember. This is a process, you know? Another thing, I've said it before in another video this week, and I'm going to keep going back to it, and I'll probably continue to say it. Breath work is a lifesaver. Like, I use the analogy of a toddler that needs a nap, but, like, is screaming, claiming that it knows it doesn't need a nap. And then, once it wakes up, even the toddler could tell you, yeah, it needed that rest to get back to its normal place. I'm finding that breath work really, really does it. That's what brought me back today. And I've found specifically that when I need it the most is when I think it's going to work the least. Like, it seems every time I'm like, oh no, I'm totally fine. Like, I don't really need to do this. There's no reason for me to take the time out of my day to breathe into this body. Those are the times where I finish it. I'm like, oh, I come out the other side a different person. I come out the other side like, oh, I've been elsewhere. And I finally come back to this. Because I think that's if there's one big takeaway that I've learned, it's that I want to remember, it's that ego, the way ego defines itself is so boastful, and, like, it claims to be everything, but it truly is, by its nature, it's limited by itself, whereas God is infinite. I think, in my experience, most people I know that have ever had a psychedelic experience have had the like, realization of, like, what they thought infinity was. Like, you have this idea of what infinity is in your head, but then you have that experience and you think about infinity again and you realize, oh, well, I can't even begin, like, whatever my concept of what that was, it's not even, like, an atom-sized to scale of what infinity truly is. There's so much more vastness than you could ever understand, and that's what God is. And so when you are stuck in ego, no matter how, like, grand and, like, you can be, like, the king of the world, you can be whatever in this ego, that's still limitation. Like, ego's lying to you when it says that it can give you the most, because it can only give you what it can only give you what it can conceive of, whereas God is everything that's been conceived. There is no person to doubt when you're living in God, when you don't have any rules to stick to, where I've gotta act this way, say this thing, say this these kinds of things, believe these things, otherwise I'm gonna betray my character. Like, once that goes away and you realize that you can be anyone, anytime, any day, ever, and so long as it's true, and so long as it's pure, it's good, then you're in heaven. That's something it's one of those things that it really does feel like two different people. And you can never get this lesson through to that other guy, you know? So that's why we do things like this. We take time to put focus on God, to put focus on what truly matters. I don't know if I'm going to make videos like this that like span a week going forward, because I don't know, it seems like I may not have a lot to say, but if I ever do, I think this is something I want to keep a tendency to doing, because the more I focus on this, the more like time I'm actively spending deepening my connection with my faith and my connection to love. Like, when I'm doing it, it's the only thing I want to do. It's the only thing I want to do. And I just, this helps remind me of that. Okay. I'll thank you again for watching this if you didn't just skip to the end. It genuinely, I can't express how cool it is to know that there's something here that stuck with you enough to get to this point. Yeah, I already gave a big, long outro yesterday, so I'll keep it short. But again, thank you so much for watching. If you have any feedback, I would genuinely love to hear it. Good, bad, ugly, I don't really care. I really appreciate it all. Thank you. I love you. Peace.